Welcome to Scream Queens Horror Movie Road Trip Podcast. That was your final girl over there screaming her head off.
Oh my gosh, there was someone that just went zooming by us and made me go, ah!
Made her go, ah.
Hey there, Soul Survivor. What's up, what's up, what's up?
Hey, I am your soul survivor, Mr. Josh. That's Justine, and we are headed to Muskogee, Oklahoma.
Day trip, best trip, living our best life, having a day trip.
If you've never tuned in before and this is your first listen, we are a monthly podcast. We choose a destination and a movie that correlates with it, and there you go. We talk about it.
And then we chit-chat about it.
Well, today we're heading to Mustang, Oklahoma. Or no, not Mustang. Why do I want to keep calling it Mustang? Muskogee, Oklahoma.
Yes.
For the Muskogee Castle Run Zombie 5K.
Yes, it's so fun. It's the second year we've gone.
Yeah, last year, episode 19, we went and we got infected.
Yeah, toads got infected.
We're
and
toads
I was
gonna get infected today.
I mean,
too.
you'll have to listen to what happened and everything, but like I was toads about to not be infected.
Are we gonna say totes a lot?
No,
Just
that was
kidding.
kind of gonna be the end of it. Was that, but
yeah, the name of the game of this zombie run is you have these flags around your waist, and you try to make it through the 3 point whatever miles.
Yeah, the 5K, and there's like obstacles.
Yes, and you want to get through it without the zombies getting all your ribbons.
All your little ribbons. Having ribbons down my back.
If you can get through it, then you get a medal and you're a survivor.
You get a medal either way,
yes.
Just FYI. So I have a medal, but
it says infected.
It says infected.
We both got infected last year, and then they scared the shit out of us and made us think for a quick second, like, oh, are they really gonna murder us?
Just for like a quick second.
Yeah, a quick second.
But
a real quick second.
There was a moment where we were like, are we really about to get shot?
Is he luring us to our death right now?
That's just wishful,
so our goal today,
thinking.
Is basically just to get through without getting exhausted. Last year we learned our lesson. We sprinted a lot at the very beginning trying to run from the zombies. And this year our goal is just to get through it without feeling like we're about to die.
Yeah, it's okay if we get infected anyway. We're just there to enjoy it, and It's
more fun to be a zombie anyways, right?
Yeah. Who hasn't wanted to be like a mindless being who just walks around and eats human flesh?
Yeah.
Yeah, and rots. You know, like they're just walking around, just their limbs are falling off. And
love it when my limbs fall off.
I love rotting. Hashtag rot life.
It's the rot life. All right,
so we're here though to talk about Night of the Living Dead,
the ultimate zombie classic.
Yes.
Directed by the one and only George A. Romero, R.I.P.
Oh.
Baby man. I meant that with no disrespect, by the way. we loved him.
Yeah.
We met him at Frightmare, and we
took a fun picture
with him. He let us be zombies for him. So we've been zombies with George Romero.
Yes.
At his direction.
He gave us no direction.
He gave us no direction.
We're not getting like any kind of like SAG cards out of it.
But we did get his permission.
His permission.
To act like idiots in a photo with him.
Yeah, he gave us the thumbs up to act like a bunch of like drunk
And he was
idiots,
awesome, and I'll never forget it. And
it was fun.
Really sad he's gone.
I appreciated that experience.
Yeah.
And now we're going to talk about his wonderful movie.
Yeah, I mean, this is the movie that invented the, like, American zombie. Before this, zombies were regulated to only, like, low-budget Caribbean, Haitian films, you know, or that's where they were set.
Mm-hmm.
You know, it's all about, like, real voodoo, real...
Yeah. It was, like, more like Serpent and the Rainbow shit.
Yeah, exactly. But, like, even before that.
Yeah.
But you're right. Serpent and the Rainbow would be in that category of, like, a kind of, like, American zombie movie.
Yes.
Get my drift.
I got your drift, bitch. You got my drift, bitch.
So, this movie and George, because, you know, we know him and he directed us. created a new genre that in the last 10 years specifically has exploded into our culture.
Diarrhea?
Diarrhea of the mouth? What?
Diarrhea explosion.
A diarrhea explosion.
Yes. No, I mean, like, zombies are everywhere
Yeah,
these
it's to the
days.
point where it's getting a little tiresome.
Yeah, it's drowning, kind of. Like, I'm
feel
drowning in zombie.
I feel like I'm up to my nose in zombies.
I'm hashtag rat life.
I can't breath.
From all the rot. Goodness.
But this is
the
original classic.
Yeah.
Classic.
Our world now is very saturated in zombieism.
But this was a new concept, and it was even, they were kind of more referred to as like ghouls.
Yes, they refer to them specifically in the film a lot as ghouls.
Yeah.
And
so
it kind of unfolds like through these like broadcasts that.
we just thought this would be
our
the perfect
characters are
movie to
gonna
talk about on
Yes.
our way to our zombie run.
So,
today.
let's go ahead and get into it.
get
Oh my
into
gosh,
it.
I'm so excited
Oh
to
my
talk about
gosh.
this.
Movie starts on a lonely road in Pennsylvania. It's all shot in Pennsylvania.
Yes.
Brother and sister.
Johnny and Barbara.
Johnny and Barbara. Good old Johnny and Barb.
Johnny and Babs.
Johnny and Babs. John and Babs.
They're kind of like your all-American brother-sister that...
Blonde.
Yeah.
Like, total Aryan assholes. Right?
Okay.
No.
I don't know if they're necessarily... I mean, they
No,
were
I'm just
white.
kidding.
Like, yeah,
no,
they
but
were...
they're bickering in the car.
Yeah,
they both are disappointed that they've gotten to the cemetery late. They're heading to the cemetery to put a cross.
A wreath
Yeah.
on their dead father's grave.
Yes.
Well, I guess the only reason why your father would have a grave is because he's
Dead.
dead.
Yes.
So, but they were there, and Johnny didn't like it. He was wasting his whole damn day.
Yeah, it's something they do for their mother every year, apparently. She doesn't like the travel.
But she
doesn't like
wants
go-
to make sure he gets across.
Yes,
and
but
like a
he is
wreath.
remembered.
Yeah.
And
Hashtag
Johnny,
never forget.
Johnny seems bent out of shape about it. Daughter, Babs.
Barbara.
She seems more understanding. She even tries to pray, and he dogs on her for that. He's like, "This ain't
She's-
church."
Goes with the flow.
You're right. For a little bit, until
Yeah.
she goes crazy for the rest of the movie.
Yeah. Well, in the beginning, she goes with the flow. She's like, "Come on, Johnny, let's just go take these, get it over with, and then the
Are
day
you
will
talking
be done."
about Aunt Flo?
Aunt Flo?
She
Oh
goes-
no!
No. Okay.
No, wrong time of the month.
So they're in the cemetery, and he's gonna pick on her some more.
Yes.
In a distance, he sees a man.
Yeah, you can see in the background that there's like a man, and he is just kind of languidly walking around.
Yeah, walking around the cemetery like he's drunk.
Yes, you do kind of get for a moment that maybe he is just like the town drunk that's walking
You're like,
around.
oh,
but you know this is a zombie movie. So.
Henry's wasted and walking around the cemetery again. You gotta call
Yeah,
it
but
a
he's
cemetery.
missing his like his glass, his like liquor bottle. He's just walking around, and
Johnny's
they're-
like, "Hey, Barbara." You know the famous line.
Yes.
He's gonna get you, Barbara.
"They're coming to get you, Barbara."
They're coming to get you, Barbara.
And then she's like, "Stop! You're ignorant."
Yeah, that is maybe my favorite line
Yeah.
in the movie. Is there? Stop it! You're ignorant.
Stop! She's funny. She get. Oh,
She's
we're
like
gonna get into her for sure.
Yes.
She's played by Judith O'Dea.
And she gives a good performance, but it's not the best representation of women.
It's a little
in a
over the
movie.
top.
She's
There's
a little,
moments where
but
you're
you
like-
know, it's like, what would you do in that
Yeah,
situation?
yeah.
Would
Absolutely.
you maybe?
I don't know. Maybe I'd be all like hunkered down.
Yeah, would it fuck you up in the head? You just,
PTSD immediately.
yeah, go crazy immediately, or would you stand up and fight?
We don't know.
Yeah.
But we have our first attack. We have
The
our
man,
first attack
yes.
between the man in the cemetery and between the two siblings, and
Because while he's saying he's gonna get you, Barbara, she's like, "Stop it!" And she goes up to him. She says later in the movie, "I went to apologize to the man." So she's going up to him, and he just grabs her.
yes,
The man
He
we
immediately
think
starts-
maybe is just drunk is
just
gets a little aggressive. He's a hateful drunk.
he's hashtag me too for sure.
Yeah, he
And then
grabs
he's trying to
her.
like maybe gnaw at her. He's
pushing. She's fighting back
Yeah.
at first, and then
No!
Johnny sees what's going on and comes to her defense.
Yes.
And then he's wrestling around with the ghoul.
He's wrestling around with the ghoul, but unfortunately,
I love ghoul wrestling.
Ghoul wrestling.
It's like Glam on Netflix.
It's like the new
Glow,
Glow.
that's what I
Yeah,
mean.
Glow on Netflix. Oh, you're so funny.
With ghouls.
But yeah, the ghoul and him are wrestling around, and he gets thrown, and he hits a tombstone on, bashes his head.
He dead.
Hashtag
Johnny's dead. We're doing a lot of hashtags.
Johnny's dead.
Maybe a lot of people will click on these hashtags.
We wouldn't have done anything with them, but yeah, so maybe not hashtag, but he's dead. Okay, and she's like, oh no, and now we have like this fun chase scene.
She races to the car. She barely gets to the car. She gets the windows up. She's in the car with the windows up,
Yeah.
and he's trying to get in.
She's like, uh-oh, I don't have the keys. They're in Johnny's pocket.
And the ghoul, the zombie, gets a big stone and busts the window open. So she figures out how to like pop the brake, and so it's going down the hill, and the zombie's chasing the slow-moving car. She's in the car, frantic.
She's like,
then,
I don't know what to do. I don't know how to navigate this. So shit!
And then the car hits a tree.
Exact lines.
And the commentary, a really great Criterion disc came out this year. I'm sure you guys know about the Night of the Living Dead Criterion Blu-ray. But in the commentary, they say that they had accidentally dented in the front of the car, and they were like, "Oh, we can use it. We'll have her make it look like she hits the tree." So,
And
little trivia.
And then made it look that way.
Made it look like she hit that damn tree. Well, she gets out, and the chase scene continues. She's like running. She's like, good thing I did that cardio session yesterday.
She's running through this like little forest area, these like trees and bushes.
She's like, this is my zombie 5K.
Mm-hmm. She goes on her own zombie 5K.
And finds a farmhouse.
She does find a farmhouse.
Even though you don't hear one damn animal. I didn't hear any cows mooing. I didn't hear chickens. I didn't hear old McDonald. None of that.
No. It ends up kind of being like a gas station. Like there's like a pump and everything.
There is on
there's
the
like a gas pump.
But
so
I assumed it was like for their tractors. And
Yeah.
whatnot, but who
it's
knows?
something.
It's something. Something's got to do with
This
something.
zombie is unrelenting. He won't give up. He's just chasing her, and she finally makes it to the safety of this house.
And
when she gets in the house with the aid of like our hero of the movie, Ben.
Well, she actually gets in first, right?
No, he kind of like.
I thought because she runs into the house, and then she hears his car, and he comes up in the car later. Because she roams around the house a little bit by herself and finds the dead body upstairs.
Oh yeah, okay.
And then she hears a noise and opens the door, and Ben
and there
comes,
he is. Yeah.
Ben comes running
and they're
in.
like hitting the headlights out,
Yeah.
the zombies and stuff.
And then he gets in. They don't know the other people are in the house yet for a while.
No, we don't know that for a while as well
Yes.
as the viewer. We don't know that
They
there's
think
people
so.
down
They're
there.
in this house. They presume alone now.
Yeah.
Now that
and
we've
they're
worked
boarding
that out.
up.
Yeah, they start. He's like, we gotta get wood. We gotta have a plan. Let's take action. Ben is a go-getter. He's like, we're gonna get out of this somehow.
Yeah, he's kind of a Boy Scout. He's gonna.
So he gets frustrated with Barbara because Barbara's in shock.
Yeah,
She's going through
grief.
some things. Yes, grief and terror.
A lot of shock because oh holy shit! Like this
My
man
brother-
just chased after her, and now there's these other people that are trying to get in the house.
Well,
They're all crazy, and they want to kind of like eat us.
But she almost goes crazy. They're going around trying to board up, and she won't like. She just starts going crazy.
She's hysterical.
And she slaps him, so he's like, and he cold cocks her one.
Yeah, he punches her.
It's a little cringeworthy now watching. You're like, oh, he just took out that lady, but it calms her down.
Well, he's able to like get a lot of the house boarded up, and then like she wakes up, and they kind of
she's like
swap
hey.
some horror stories on.
Yeah, she tells them about Johnny, and he tells her his story about how he was starting to get surrounded.
Yeah, he came upon that truck and got surrounded, and then he needed to get gas. It was running out. He saw the pump and pulled into the house, and that's why he was there.
And then is it at this point that they discover...
And then I have written down that there's like the body on the second floor.
Yeah,
so...
they do something with that. Don't they throw it out to them?
Yeah. Well, they can see that it's been kind of like eaten on.
Decomposing, yeah.
And they have no idea like what's going on with the people, but they just talk about how like they seem kind of entranced. And then they find the radio, and it's working, and there's a news broadcasting that's happening, and it's talking about this like mass murderers on an epidemic just going around. It's like when you're watching the movie, the news broadcast, they just get more like in line with like the classic zombie, because at first it's like
almost like a
crazy
mass murder.
killing sprees are going on everywhere, and then a little bit later in the movie it's like, oh, it's dead people that have come back to life that are killing people and eating them.
And by the end, they're like in DC doing like DC news crews.
Yeah, and they're like on TV talking about how like they think it's this like atomic or this something that happened with like a vessel coming back from Earth, a space probe.
A vessel.
And it like blew up, and there was radiation, and that's why all these people are acting crazy.
It's affecting their brains.
And then they go in.
Brains. You gotta
dead.
kill the brain.
You gotta like shoot him in the head. So along the way of the story, that those broadcasts are happening, and that's just adding to this fun story of this like first zombie movie.
Mm-hmm.
And Ben like lights a chair on fire, and he like kind of comes to the realization that they don't like fire. They don't like light.
Oh, he's like, this can work to our advantage,
I
think.
And around the same time, we find that there's like a door behind a door, and that's where the people are going to come out of.
And we find out that there's, I think, is it Harry that comes out first, or the younger guy?
It's two guys that come out, Harry and Tom.
Yes, they come
out. And at first it's just her that's down there. He's gone upstairs to kind of get some rest, scope things out upstairs after they'd gotten that rotted body out.
Yeah.
And they kind of come in there, and she's all freaked out, so he runs back downstairs, and they're just standing there. He's like, you've been here this whole time? You've heard us like screaming up here? You've heard us boarding the whole house up? You didn't think to come up and maybe like help?
Yeah, they immediately get like in a pissing match.
It's like a morale.
Ben's like, we need to stay up here so we can escape if we need to. Harry's like, no, we need to go down into the basement because
that's only
lock
one
ourselves in.
Entrance and exit. And so there's a dividing road between these two.
Yeah.
Juxtaposing.
But most of the people want to stay upstairs.
Yeah, because upstairs has a TV and a radio.
And they also, too, are like, we can run if we need to. We can get away. There's more places to run. In the basement, we're like sitting ducks. If they get in, there's nowhere to go.
But what we come to find out is that Harry actually has a wife and a child down in the cellar, and that the child got hurt on the way in.
And they believe bitten, right?
Well, we come to find out she was bitten. Like, they're not, like, forthcoming with exactly how she got hurt at
they
first.
don't say too much in the beginning.
And there's another guy, so it's Harry, and then there's Tom. And Tom has a girlfriend, Judy. That's her name.
Yeah.
And the sick daughter is, like, Karen.
Karen!
I mean, I don't know, just sick daughter. She's just down there the whole time. And Helen wants, everybody wants to go upstairs except for Harry. And I think he just wants to have people under his control and and he immediately is intimidated / like, he's got Ben's number. He doesn't like Ben. He doesn't like the go-getter Ben. And we now know he's going to be like our evil villain kind of guy. Yeah,
he's kind of a push and shove of the movie, like the person that everyone has to kind of battle with inside the house. Because, the greatest threat, of course, is the zombies, the ghouls.
And they're all surrounding the house.
Inside the house, amongst themselves, they've got to worry about Harry. Because he seems a little unhinged. He seems a little angry.
Yes. And he has these kind of passive-aggressive comments with his wife that make you think that he didn't make the best choices in them coming into the house to begin with, and that he might be the reason why their daughter is hurt.
Oh, yeah.
And so Ben finds the TV, and the news reporter unveils this kind of like archetype of the zombie, like how we know them. They're calling them ghouls, but you know the radiation is the reason why it's all happening on the eastern seaboard.
It made them sick.
And then
Made
now
the
we
dead
have
people sick.
these like mass groups of armed men, these like militias that are going out and trying to take out all of the undead.
They're in helicopters or on foot.
They're
It's very
searching the
military,
countryside.
but also, like you said, militia.
Yeah, because they're not necessarily like the
Yeah.
army. They're just like men with guns that are banding together to try to eliminate.
For the greater good.
Yeah. And
Second Amendment rights.
yeah. So get your guns. And so they're restoring order all over on the eastern seaboard. And they have all these locations, these rescue places, you know, that you can get to. And everybody that's watching the TV is like, "Oh, we need to make it there. We need to get
there." They're like,
there.
"How can we do this?" And they're like, "Well, we have a car. We need some gas."
Yeah, Ben's like, "We've got the truck. We just need to get the gas in there. So who's gonna divert attention while we get gas?"
Tom's like, "I can help," but they have Harry throw the cocktails.
Yeah, they make Molotov cocktails.
Yes. And they're like, "Harry, you go upstairs and throw them around the car, scare them away."
And we'll run to the pump. We'll get the gas, and then we'll come and get you guys. Yeah, and it'll be great. And you're like, "Okay, yeah, this sounds like a really good idea."
They got this. Nothing could go wrong, right?
Nothing's gonna go wrong.
What could go wrong, right? There's just fire.
Okay, so
zombies.
Tom haphazardly tries to get the gas into the truck.
There's kind of a sequence of events. They run outside. At first it's just Tom and Ben, and Judy decides she was all of a sudden like, "I'm gonna go too."
She can't
So Judy runs out, but then she has like this moment of panic where Harry shuts the door. She's stuck out there. She looks at the door, looks at Harry, and then just runs to the car. There's like a big attack scene there where the ghouls are trying to get him.
As they're getting into the car. Once they get into the car,
Ben has that big torch, homemade torch that he's trying to fight them back with. And then they get in the car and they drive over the gas station. The ghouls are just not far behind at all. They're right on top of them the whole time.
Yeah. Well, and it's not very far away either. It's on the property.
And Ben's in the back of the truck trying to keep them away with that fire.
With his torch. Because
they're scared of it.
They're scared of the torch. And they get over there, and Tom starts putting gas in the tank, but he spills it everywhere. And then the zombies come, and the torch gets knocked, and then lights the
whole damn thing on fire. And the funny thing is too, it's you're just "Oh, you fucking idiots! Why did you drop the torch right there?" You know, that's just a whole
why'd you have to spill
Final
gas
Destination sequence of events where you're just no, didn't you see that coming?
So on edge, their hearts are racing that they're just making these errors.
And it's a really good sequence too, and the car explodes with Judy and Tom inside.
Yes.
They're dead.
Ben is racing back.
They go up in flames.
And there's no time to mourn.
Judy and Ben
Tom is getting down. I'm letting you finish your.
Okay, we can go.
Okay, Judy's in the car when it explodes, and Tom is getting devoured by these zombies out there. Ben's running to get into the house, and Harry's locked him out!
Yeah, and that's going to become a bone of contention between the two.
Really? Here's all these dead people rushing back over to the house, and Ben's like, "Let me in! Bitch!" So he knocks the door down.
It's going to cause some problems.
But he's super strong, and he knocks the door down because he's handsome, and he punches Harry out. #justice.
Yeah, they go fisting.
They go.
Oh,
well.
Oh
my God! What? Calm down. You're out of control.
I've been
You've taken this too far.
I've been fighting with their fists.
Fighting with their fists.
They don't call that fisting. What do they call that? They just go fight.
Fist fighting?
Fist fighting.
Fisting? All
Maybe
right.
not. Maybe that's not what they did.
At the end of the fight, though, Ben wins, and Ben has also we should mention there's a gun involved. Like
Yeah, there's a gun in
Ben
the
had
house.
found a gun a while ago, and so there is a gun that's involved.
Yes. You know what they say? When
Yes.
there's a gun in the house, the chances of you getting harmed go way up.
You know what they say?
You know what they say? So,
Holy
think
crap.
about that, Night of the Living Dead.
Okay, well, Harry is all punched out. He's like laying on the couch. There's another news broadcast that happens, and it's just explaining that like shit's getting worse everywhere. You guys
Everywhere.
stay in your house, do what
Spreading.
you can
Spreading like a disease.
to defend you and yours. Make sure you shoot them in the head,
Yeah.
and all of a sudden, as the broadcaster's saying all this shit, boom, lights go out, power out.
Power out. Out.
And you can just hear the ghouls rat-tat-tatting on the windows.
They're like, oh.
Like, holy shit, they're coming! They're gonna get in the house!
Tangina!
No!
Stay away from the light, Caroline!
Stay away! Zombies! Oh,
Zombie.
Tangina, she's reprised her role.
She always comes back. We love Tangina.
Tangina. Lots of zombies are everywhere, and they're eating people. We have this really awesome scene. It's kind of our
Yeah.
first scene, really, in
It's like the ashes.
American cinema, where we're gonna see these people like.
They're eating a lot of the
them.
charred remains
Mhm.
of the people.
You can see like intestines and what looks like a liver maybe being eaten.
all
Somebody's
kinds of
bones.
nasty. There's like a hand.
Yeah, we've seen like a naked lady with her booty crack showing.
Yeah.
And golly, Barbara, she is like, you know what, guys? She's okay. In this moment, she gives them the idea and tells them that they can't do it. She's like, got that car of my brother's,
Yeah,
and then she's like, but we can't get it because I don't got that key. Like,
Yeah.
but she's delirious.
It's like, Johnny still has the keys
This-
to the car.
Girl is on edge.
Johnny's dead.
Whole movie, she is just like,
Crying or like staring catatonically.
yes.
She's
And so you
All
just want her
kinds
to
of-
pull through.
she's all kinds of up and down. You're like, girl, get it together. You
Want her
you
to
got
persevere. Want
Yeah.
hashtag girl power.
This. Mm-hmm.
She's not giving it.
That's what we want.
Okay, so but
Give it.
Ben's convinced if they can get to Johnny's car, then maybe they can make it. And Ben's always had that ray of hope, you know. That's what
Yeah,
you need.
like that Madonna album, Ray of Hope.
That's how revolutions are made, with hope. So that's what Ben's doing. He's like, he's gonna make it to a safe place. And the Coopers, they're like, we can't go
Look, we got our
because
sick baby girl.
our daughter can't.
baby
we
angel
moved it all.
princess is down here sick.
Baby angel princess, she's down here. Yep.
They're like, our baby angel princess is down here sick on this slab of something in the basement.
And they're having this conversation, and then the ghouls kind of take over the house. As the ghouls are taking over the house, there's also this wrestle for the gun between Ben and Harry.
Well,
And
Ben's had enough.
yeah, Ben's had enough. Okay, so Harry tries to get that gun. He gets the gun for a moment, but all the zombies are coming, and then he doesn't have the gun anymore. Ben has the gun, and he shoots him.
Shoots him in the
Shoots
gut.
him in the gut.
He's like, oh yeah, you want one in the gut, Harry?
Give you one in the gut. I'm gonna fist ya.
That I do know fisting doesn't involve your gut.
Oh, okay.
Well, maybe,
Maybe
but
your belly button?
you know what? It involves your gut, but through another opening. You get that fist up in your guts, you know what I mean?
Oh
No.
my gosh. You're so nasty.
Hey, you brought it
Oh my
up.
gosh. I did. I
I
brought
was
up
all
the fisting.
innocently.
Boom. He's got words, bitches.
I got words, y'all. I've got a few I can use.
Oh my
I was
goodness.
innocently referring to fighting, and I.
But you said fisting.
Yeah, I did. Okay. Anyways,
Anyways.
he shoots him in the gut.
Shoots him in the gut, and Harry slowly makes his way down to the cellar where his daughter is.
Yes, he's like, I'm gonna go die with my baby angel princess.
Here I am dying with my baby angel princess.
Oh, but you know what?
So
baby
now-
angel princess is not dead.
She's not. Baby angel princess got something different in store for
she's
Daddy.
getting a little ghoulish.
Yeah, she herself is turning into a ghoul. Upstairs, we've got Ben and Helen, Harry's wife, and Barbara, and they're trying to fight off the
they're
ghouls.
Trying to hammer up some more boards and nails. They're pushing back against these ghouls. And then Martha's like, I'm going downstairs.
Helen decides that she's going to go down to the cellar because it's a time to quit. You know?
She's like, whatever. I'm
her
overwhelmed.
hair's gotten pulled on and she's had enough.
Yeah, she's like, I'm overwhelmed.
I'm not going to take it anymore.
So she's like, I've got to go see my baby angel princess.
Yeah, so she goes down to see her sweet baby angel princess.
But baby
as well.
angel princess is now baby angel princess zombie bitch.
Yes, and she's snacking on Daddy.
She's got that.
She's like, Daddy wants a snack. You the main course, bitch. She starts stabbing her.
Oh, with that little like hand.
Like a spade or some kind of like
That's
gardening
right.
tool
It's a spade.
slash like
It's like a little
dirt lifter.
little hand shovel.
A hand
What do you
shovel,
call
a
that? A dirt lifter. Do you fist it?
Hilarious.
Do you fist the dirt?
Oh my gosh.
Remover,
It's a dirt
picker upper?
lifter.
The dirt
The
lifter.
dirt lifter. You lift the dirt up. Jeez.
You lift the dirt up.
You lift that dirt up.
Dirt
That
lifter.
dirt up.
We're going to Muskogee, Oklahoma with our dirt lifter.
We got a dirt lifter. Gosh, you can tell I don't know any kind of like outside work.
No.
It's got a dirt lifter.
It lifts dirt.
Oh my gosh. Okay, where were we? So now
Okay,
they're all okay. The
Martha's-
family's down.
Martha's getting Why do I keep calling Helen Martha?
I
Is her
don't
name
know.
Helen?
Her name
that
is
it?
Helen.
Okay.
Gosh.
Helen's getting like repeatedly stabbed by her baby angel princess zombie bitch daughter from hell.
Or a short version, Karen.
Karen, you look like a Karen.
You look like a Karen. Okay, so now upstairs we just
Sorry,
have Ben
Karen.
and Barbara, and then Barbara sees her brother, who's now a ghoul, and she's like, I can't stay here!
Yeah,
Oh,
fucking
sorry.
Johnny shows up.
Yeah, Johnny.
You see him, and you know who he is automatically because he was wearing these weird gloves earlier in the movie.
Yes, and he
has
has
that
them, like,
glove
yeah,
like
like-
sticking out, and you
yeah.
kind of recognize his face too, but his face is turned ghoulish.
Yes, because he's a
He's
ghoul.
a zombie.
He's a zombie.
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 And he's take my hand. Oh my
hilarious.
god. This song is about the Cranberries song is about
It is
Johnny.
about Johnny from
Trying to get his sister back. Oh my god.
this whole time. Why didn't we
This
know
whole
this?
time. You know, you put it together and you.
Oh goodness! So she gets
Bit by
taken,
bit.
and the house is consumed by zombies. Ben is forced to seek shelter,
Shelter.
refuge in the cellar, which he boards up, and
Yes.
there's planks and stuff to lock the door.
So the irony is like in the end
Yeah,
because
he had to go-
ends up surviving the night.
Mhm.
For a
But he
little
had
bit.
to do it in the cellar.
Yeah, he had to do it in the cellar where Harry wanted them to be the whole time.
Yeah.
And that ended up being the safest place for
Hashtag
Ben.
life choices. Yeah.
Yeah, but it's the way it all went down. His leadership skills were terrible. No one wanted to follow Harry.
No.
I wouldn't follow Harry anywhere the way he acted.
That's why he's just the Prince of England, because he's not ever going to be the King of England.
Uh-oh.
Oh wait, we're not talking about
I'm like, what? That movie?
what? Harry? Yeah, no, Harry was a dick, and so
Oh my God, a Harry dick.
had a dick.
Harry Dick.
And it was a Harry dick. And so Ben, even though Ben was George Washington in his early days, you know,
Yeah, that
like
makes so
he
much
was
sense.
like a great. He always had all the hope. He believed in his country. Ben believed that he was going to make it through the night. And
But, you know.
on the way, they really fucked things up
But
for a while.
Ben makes it through the night. He just doesn't
He
make
does.
it through the morning.
Yeah, he doesn't make it through the morning,
Like
unfortunately.
one of the most frustrating endings in movie history.
Yes.
Ben
so
survives.
that same
Remember that
rescue
militia we
team,
told you
yeah.
about? Remember that militia?
Oh, I thought we were gonna quote rescue team this. Like they were we're the rescue team. No, they're not. They're not going to rescue
Team
anything.
America, World
They
Peace.
were just going around to just shoot whatever they could because they assumed that at the end of that night nobody had survived and everybody was just zombies walking around
Yeah.
and the house
they
looked
s-
abandoned.
So Ben comes up that morning. All the zombies are gone. The militia's outside.
Yes.
And they're like, oh, I see movement in that window.
I don't understand why he doesn't say anything. Why he doesn't say, hello, I'm alive!
Yeah.
You know, but
and then, bam, they shoot Ben.
they do. It's just one shot. They shoot him
And
right.
and they don't know. They probably went on their way thinking they just shot a zombie.
Yeah, and they get him. The rest of okay, so he shot, and that ends the movie. And then the remaining, like the credits, is kind of this like montage of pictures that show Ben being kind of
Yeah.
like burnt on like this mass burial,
Yeah.
and it's sad.
It's very Shakespearean. you
Yes.
know?
Yes.
I think Shakespeare actually wrote a version of this 500 years ago
It
called
was,
like
yes.
wasn't it called The Twelfth Night?
The 12th Night.
No, that wasn't about zombies and Night of the Living Dead.
No.
What
You
about
were. It was going.
Romeo and Juliet. That's
Zombie
what it
Romeo
is.
and Juliet.
Yeah.
It's actually the title. Was changed.
Yeah.
So it was.
You just gotta do your research and you'll find out
Yeah.
these things.
Yeah,
you
the
know.
internet. If it says it on the internet,
It's
then
real.
it's real and it's right, and you should believe it.
Yeah,
No,
we've now said it on the internet.
we
so it's
have
real.
given you the best possible
Oh, man, what a
synopsis
movie.
of
What a
Night of the Living Dead. I
fucking
mean,
movie, huh?
you should feel privileged that you just sat through all
the
of that,
fisting,
all
yeah.
the fisting.
Well, we're almost to the zombie run.
We're so close, actually.
What do you guys think? Are we gonna get infected again?
I want us to make it, okay?
You know-
Let's make it, friend.
Make a safe bet. We're gonna get infected, all right? But
Yeah.
we'll tell you all about it when we come back. Stay tuned.
We might be a little out of breath.
Don't turn us off. There's gonna be like just a few seconds of music,
Two
and then
shakes of a lamb's tail.
we'll be right back with our second half of our show.
Yep. Bye!
We're back. I'm so
Oh
tired.
my goodness.
Well, we did it,
What a workout, guys.
and as predicted, we're infected.
All right. But you know what? We did a lot better
We
than
did do better. I feel better about
last
it.
year.
Guys,
So-
I feel better about it.
I feel like accomplished. We did just do a 5K
We did. Yeah, that's cool.
in like 45 minutes.
Yeah, we did about 45 minutes, which is a lot
And-
better than last year's time.
We did more of the obstacles.
We struggled last year, but we're in a little bit better shape this year.
Yeah, we've been working out.
So
And,
we were a bit more prepared this time.
We did a lot more of the obstacles because I think last year we did one.
I
and
think
this
we did
year-
the very first obstacle, which
Yeah.
was like jumping on top of those logs.
Yeah,
And that's all we did last year. But this year we did, I would say we did,
like 4 or 5.
I was even going to be nicer and say like 8.
Oh, 6 or 7 or 8.
Yeah.
I guess when we'll go through it, like, yeah, we did the logs. Oh, I climbed that wall.
Oh my gosh, tell
God.
them about that.
That was hilarious.
She was a badass for a second. She was like climbing this wall, but it was a straight up wall. Like
Yes.
with plywood.
inclined wall, and it had little slats for your feet, like
yeah,
to
it had
help
at least
climb
3
up
slats
them.
going up where you could brace your feet if you
And
needed
so
to.
I was like, yeah, sure, I'm gonna take on this challenge.
And
And
I-
I get all the way up there, and I straddle my legs over on the other side, and I think, you know what? No, I'm just gonna go down, and there's absolutely no help on the way down. There's just no slats.
Well, it's funny. I'm seeing you get to the top and you throw your legs over and you're just looking at it. And I'm like, well, let me go around to the other side to like help coach you down. And I go to the other side and it's a straight wall down without any of those foot.
Like there's no helping
rests.
here. Like I don't have any upper body strength.
I turned and I was like, no, go back the way you came. I was like, I don't want to see you just fall straight down.
Plot twist, I didn't go down.
But you know what? She attempted it, and she did really well going
Well, but then I went down
up.
again on the other side. So I went up and down thinking that was what I was.
You went up and down. That's
all
all that matters, that you went up and down, damn it.
I went up and down. I went up and down a few times. I mean, we did go over some hay bales. We went through this, like...
tunnel thing.
And then...
we
went through a lot of tunnels.
Stuff.
Yeah, we went through a lot of tunnels because we went through that super pitch black
There's a
dark
really
tunnel.
awesome, really dark tunnel that has like, some black lights and some weird stuff in it.
Yeah.
And it really reminds me of Texas Chainsaw Part 2.
Yes.
Where they're down in the tunnels. Yeah, it's really cool.
I wanted to be Stretch running through there.
Oh, Stretch. From K.O. Club.
What's his name? LJ?
Yeah.
LJ!
No, don't fuck it up again. Remember, we had to do a whole, housekeeping because we messed up.
It's
his
LG
name.
for sure.
Yeah.
But anyways, it's like a whole nother movie. Okay, what? I fell in a ditch, but I didn't really fall in a ditch. The zombie knocked me down.
Yeah, you got, pushed falling. Push falling.
I'm always being accosted.
Yeah, last year, if you listened to the episode, our 5K episode, and what movie we covered last year? 28 Days Later.
Mm-hmm. Yes.
You heard the tale of her getting punched and her number ripped off by a zombie. This year, she accidentally got pushed by one, and the guy felt bad about it.
Yeah, he did. He was, because you had turned around, you were like, what, what happened? Did you
I was like,
out?
oh, did you wipe out?
Yeah. And he was like, no, she didn't wipe out. But I'm climbing out of this, ditch, so obviously something happened.
I was like, you okay down there?
Hello, I'm all right.
What happened to my friend? Where is she?
It was also really good weather.
Yeah, last year was
so different
so
from last
hot.
year.
It was hot heat. It was hot heat.
Last year was hot heat, and this year we had even a little slight drizz coming through.
I wore a hoodie this year in toits.
In toits. Well, in shorts and toits.
Shorts and toits.
Yes.
But it's really fun. The 5K in Muskogee. It's almost like a 3-mile haunted house.
Yes.
Essentially.
Yeah, because, it's all decorated and set up like you're in some apocalyptic, zombie worlds where there's just, zombies popping out of, little houses. Yeah, like I said, they, kind of have, these prop houses set up.
Yeah, because year-round it's a place called the Castle of Muskogee, and they hold different events, like we might have told you earlier.
Even a
Renaissance Fair. They do haunted houses there. They do a big Christmas thing there. All kinds of things throughout the year, and this is just one of them. So they already have these built sets out there, but they zombify everything.
Yeah.
And so the whole time you're running or walking, we do a little half run, half walk. We definitely run when the zombies are around.
Yeah.
Then we take our time, catch our breath.
Do the obstacles because
but we're
can't
also
really run through them.
We're also just trying to take it all in. It's really cool.
Yeah, because there's a lot just to see.
There's a lot of cool production design stuff going on out there.
And
you're
the
in
zombies
the woods
are all zombified up. They all
the cast members do a great job. They're really their makeup is really cool.
You can tell they really
what
get
they
into
wear. They definitely get into it, especially when they're chasing you and growling and grunting and trying to get you out ribbons.
Even the zombies that are helping you at the water and Gatorade stations.
Yeah, we had a couple friendly zombies who noticed that we didn't have any more ribbons and that we were already infected. They'd be like, here's a ribbon, or here, we'll give you guys another ribbon. So they tried to keep us in the game, and even with a little extra help.
Yeah, I think overall, so you're supposed to get 3 ribbons, and overall I probably had 6 ribbons.
Yeah, we probably got 5 or 6
So there were
ribbons.
some generous zombies that were
Here.
Here.
We still have zombie hearts.
We want you to have the extra experience.
Zombie hearts and zombie farts.
Some of them maybe had a zombie fart or
Some
two
of them
out
were
there.
zombie farts.
You have to think they were out there for a few hours and like
they were zombie shit in their drawers.
I think you fart within a few hours of the day, everyday right? Like you just let out like a little.
Or is that like a scientific fact? Would you explode if you didn't fart like in the first few minutes of the day? Like the methane will build up.
Yeah, so there's definitely some zombie farts going on out there too.
So it's a lot of fun if you happen to be in this area. Or if there's something like it in your town, I would suggest going. Try it out. Let us know how yours is.
Also, just a way to get together and do something outside in
with
the
other
nature.
Like horror-loving individuals.
Yes,
it's
people
always
that are just like excited for the September, October feels.
Yeah, I don't know how it is where you guys are, but I feel like around this nation, Halloween. It starts in September now.
Yes.
Right?
Fall equals Halloween.
Yeah, it's like September 1st hits, everything is pumpkin spiced, everything.
And I'm a little okay with that. Like from time to time I might like get a pumpkin. I'm not every time, like I'm a solid coffee drinker, but like pumpkin spice me please.
You're like, yeah. You're like, basic me up.
Yeah, I'm a little basic. Everyone's
fine.
a little bit basic.
Everyone's a little bit basic.
Oh my gosh, but we did have a lot of fun.
It was
I'm
a lot of
kind
fun.
of getting sore. My muscles are getting a little atrophied.
Yeah, but I'll say I'm not as wiped out as I was last year.
Yeah,
Last year we left,
not
it's
out
like
of breath.
I felt like I slept for days after. This year I'm like,
it's almost like I feel kind of energized.
like, yeah, maybe I'll go home and shower and take a nap. No.
Shower and take a nap.
But I don't feel as wiped out. I think
we still have a little bit
gosh,
of a
we're
drive ahead of us.
We still got some driving to do because we drove about 2 hours away to do this.
Over
2.5
hours,
yeah,
yeah.
A little over 2 hours.
So we're just going to be driving, looking at all of this beautiful
But you know
Oklahoma
what?
scenery and telling you all the things we love about the movie.
Yeah. You know what I kept thinking of when we were running earlier was they're gonna get you, Barbara.
Well, I was thinking they're gonna get you, Joshua.
No!
They're gonna get you, Joshua.
You're ignorant.
Stop! You're ignorant. We had our own little Night of the Living Dead scene, like out there. That we
we're like,
created.
run!
There was a time when we had like nobody really, so we just decided like we're gonna really give it our all.
Like,
Run away from these zombies.
We're like, let's play pretend.
The ghouls are out. Let's play pretend. We're grown adults and I'm running a fight.
We're like, Justine, let's LARP for like 5 seconds.
Oh man. Okay, so yeah, but recapping the movie.
Oh, it's a great one. Oh, isn't she precious?
Sweet.
She's a precious baby.
She's a sweet little baby angel cakes. Oh my gosh.
No, Night of the Living Dead. It's what can be said that hasn't been said?
What can be said?
I mean, it was a cultural landstone. Landstone, yeah. Did I say that right? I'm a little wiped from this run.
It's definitely, it paved the way.
Yes.
For what we know as like kind of the American zombie.
Yeah, for sure.
Classic.
There was really not a whole lot like it before. I mean, there was and wasn't. The idea of like man-eaters have kind of been around.
Yeah,
but
cannibalism has been around for a long time.
But this idea of kind of like the apocalyptic version of it, of, you know, like a nuclear American zombie, of like, oh, there's something that made these people rise from the grave. Yeah. That is very...
And their representation as like kind of culture taking over, you know, like what they represent is the like supposedly the consumer in all of us, that we just crave more and more until eventually we're going to start eating each other or something activates in us.
Right. And also the fact that it had an African American lead in the 60s when that was almost unheard of.
Yes.
You know, and that wasn't even really mentioned in the movie, which is also awesome. It was in the 60s with an African American lead, and it wasn't about him being an African American.
No, it was about like
which most
him
of the
just being...
movies, if it had an African American lead in the 60s, that's what it would be about.
Yeah, and it would be addressed in such a way. But
he was the leader.
He was just
Even
somebody
though,
who was trying to survive the night.
and even though in the end he might not have made all the best choices, he was the only one really trying to be level-headed.
Yeah, trying to be
get
proactive
everybody
about the
out
fact
of
that
it.
like there was some type of pandemic going on, but he wasn't gonna like fall victim to it. He was like, you could just tell he was probably a very resilient person in life, and he brought that to the apocalypse.
Yeah, and it's a shame he passed away in the 80s, that he's not alive now to see like what a phenomenon the movie has stayed and how important it's become in the horror genre.
R.I.P. Dwayne. Where's
So.
my book?
And I'm also sad I've never got to meet him at a convention. Never will. So I'm selfish. It's all about me.
We have met George
Romero
at a convention.
So I feel like
and that's
hashtag blessed.
hashtag super blessed.
I mean, we got to shake his hand, take a picture with him,
Be silly
act
with
like
him.
zombies.
Yeah.
We even asked him, like, can we act like zombies? He's like, yeah. And then he laughed at us. And in the
So
picture, he's
cool.
like shaking his head, pointing at us, like, oh, these guys.
Oh, these guys. And you just think about the fact, like, he made, like, of the time, he made, like, a very gory movie.
Mm-hmm.
And...
Oh, even now watching it, just something about how they're casually just dining on these people and
eating
ripping.
those, like, intestines
and you
stuff.
see it getting ripped off the bone.
But he's just this cheerful fellow, you know? And he's made some grotesque...
Mm-hmm. Luckily, though, they made this movie, like, I think it was released months before the MPAA kind of really started regulating and rating movies as we know it now, with, like, the R and, you know, all the different, the rating system that we know.
So they got in kind of...
Yeah, because
on the
that,
cusp
I don't
of
think
change.
would have made it through. I think it would have been censored more. It would have been censored. Censorship. Down with it.
Down with them.
Down with the man.
Bitch! Just
Yeah,
screaming
bitch.
at no one in
You
particular.
get 'em, Miss
everyone.
Justine.
I'm gonna get you! I'm gonna get you!
MPAA.
I'm gonna come after you, MPAA!
Oh my God, Justin, you better not like record a threat to the MPAA.
No, it's not like
No
that.
joke.
Tangine is coming after the MPAA! Sorry, Tangine.
Tangina's
Damn.
always hated the MPAA since they censored her nude scene in Poltergeist 3.
I knew you were going nude scene.
She's like, I want my titties out!
Oh!
That's what-
Yeah! My titties! Okay, let's go ahead and talk about our favorite scenes, because, I mean, there's iconic scenes.
Oh my gosh, there's so many.
But what's your
good
favorite
ones.
scenes? Like, what's a scene that just really defines the movie overall for you, Mr. Josh Sulzer?
I'll say for me, and there's so many, it might not even be my favorite or the scariest, but for me, when I think of Night of the Living Dead, I think of the opening.
Yeah, the opening.
The cemetery scene with Barbara and her brother.
Yeah.
And they're coming to get you, Barbara. And just the chase scene is so good. And I'm a fan of a chase scene. I love a good,
It's
I love
really
a good chase scene.
chase scene.
I love all the subgenres of horrors, but I will always love
A slasher.
a good slasher. Even though this isn't a slasher, but it has that
Element
chasing
of it
element.
with
That's
it,
why I
yeah.
love a good slasher. I love that run girl feeling when you're like, go, get out,
Immediately
run!
gripping you, you know?
Yeah.
You're just like, it's
Get
suspense.
away.
You're like, oh, is she gonna make it?
Because you can put yourself into that really easy. Like, oh, that would be so scary to have this thing after you. What would you do? Could you maintain your speed? Could you stay on your feet without falling? Could you make it and get the door open in time? You know?
Yeah.
And-
Could you survive it?
Yeah.
He's coming for you, Barbara!
And that scene is really good. And it's prolonged. Like, it's...
And that zombie was coming for her.
You know,
He
it's-
wasn't gonna give up.
Yeah, and it just keeps going. It starts in the cemetery. She runs from the cemetery, gets in the car. She has to fudge the brakes and gets them.
She has
takes
to
off.
think on her feet real fast.
The car goes down the hill. She gets out of the car after the zombie comes and breaks the wind. You know, it just keeps going. And then she runs
Yes.
into the farm, goes to the farm, runs around the farm looking for a way into the farmhouse, gets in the house. Yeah.
It's
Gets
a
locked
lot.
in. Yeah, it's...
And the whole time
good.
he's just coming for her. There's no change in. I mean, well,
And you don't really know what's going on either.
yeah.
I mean,
like,
at this
is
point,
he just like a weird drunk guy, or?
yeah. I mean, at this point, it's a classic. Everyone knows he's a zombie. But I can remember when I saw it, 15, at 15, 16 years old, and that just being so scary. For really great opening scene.
You clutched your décolletage.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah, it's hard because like that's my favorite tip. Like, but it's just because it's iconic. There are other scenes that.
Well, you have to think of something else. No, you don't have to. But let's try to discuss another scene.
No, we are good. That's what I was kind of getting to. It's like there is when they're trying to get the gas in the truck. That is a really gripping scene. That's very. It's kind of like, okay, also another one of those like suspenseful, how would you have done it in the scene? Would you have been able to like get the gasoline, because the gasoline gets poured everywhere and causes this huge fire, and what would you have done in that scenario? These are just 3 people that are trying to survive the night, and they, sadly 2 of them don't make it.
And it's a really good scene because there's a lot of elements and a lot of characters involved. Like, it starts inside the house, them coming up with this plan. And then it goes with it starting out just Ben.
The 2 guys.
What's the other guy's name? There's Ben and Todd. I forget his name. We don't have our list on us. We're too tired to pull out our checklist of characters.
But our boyfriend guy and our main guy
but
Ben.
But then the girl runs out, and then that guy inside Dwayne. No, I can't remember right now. Sorry, Ben. No, not Ben. Ben's already outside. The arch
Harry
nemesis.
guy.
Harry, yes.
Yeah.
Harry's kind of like in or out type, to the girl. The girl's standing there like, what am I gonna do? The door shuts. She's got to go for it. They get in the car. There's just so much going on.
There's panic. Yeah, the Harry guy, he's the bad guy.
Ben's trying to ward off all the zombies with his torch.
Yeah, the girlfriend Judy, she just like decides on the whim to go with them, and it kind of changes. I mean, it changes a lot. She ends up dying because of her choices. #life choices.
It all
and
comes
Tom,
down to
he's
choices.
the boyfriend.
Tom, not Todd. Okay.
Yeah.
I was close. Okay. I was
it's okay.
close.
It's all right.
Calm
down.
Right.
Why are you getting so emotional about this? It's just names.
Look, we don't edit our show, okay? We keep it real.
Hopefully,
if I fuck up, I fuck up, and it makes me sad.
He's so upset right now. No, okay, yeah. So that scene is also, a nail biter, because you want them to make it, and then they don't, and then it's after that it just keeps happening. There's the bad things. All the zombies are getting in the house. It gets overtaken. Everybody kind of gets consumed, except for Ben, who finds, that the best choice would have been to be down in the basement.
Something else that I really love? It's not even a scene, because it happens a lot in the movie. Just like when they'll look out the window and they'll see the zombies just stumbling around.
Yeah, and how they keep
more and more
yeah,
keep coming.
And that's why the house gets overtaken with them.
They're just out there waiting. And that in itself adds so much suspense. Because...
And all the news reports.
There's nowhere to go. And to me, sometimes that's the scariest thing, of being trapped or stuck somewhere.
And like the radio and the news reports are saying like it's getting worse, and they're just like having to sit there and wonder like how long can they really wait it out, like before they have to get help. It's a lot, guys. I can't even. I mean, can you survive a zombie movie?
Yeah, and this is just like one of the best in terms of like zombies.
And how quickly like humanity just kind of like falls to the wayside. Like all of a sudden there's these militias that take the law upon themselves to just go out and just start hunting these zombies, and then eventually they kill our Ben, who survived the night and then just dies because somebody just
so
wants
nihilistic.
To,
just like, oh well, no matter what,
all for naught.
And you know what? The
whole evening was
that politically and societally still resonates. Innocent people getting shot.
It's like, what is it all for? What's it all about? With all these sacrifices we make.
Anyways, we
so
love
now I guess let's just knife rating, but it's
Extreme knife rating. I mean, this is
For
an
myself,
obvious
it's
5
5.
knives.
Yeah. So
Duh.
it's definitely
What
Scream
asshole
Queens.
is going to do a 4.5 or lower?
Scream Queens
We're lovers, not haters.
approved right
Yeah.
here.
Oh yeah, completely approved.
Approved, like must watch. Hope you've seen it loads of times. Hopefully, listening to this, you've just cracked your ass up and not like gotten hella confused by our retelling of this wonderful story.
As old as time.
Oh, now we're getting all Beauty and the Beast on these people.
Well, there is a lot of beauty and a lot of beasts. In
There's
this
a lot
movie.
of beasts. What's coming up? What's coming up? Tell everybody what's coming up in our podcast, Mr. John.
We got lots of things coming up.
But we're going to mention one. So next episode.
Yeah, our next episode 33, we're going to go find a castle in the woods and talk about Dracula.
We're covering Dracula, 1931 Dracula,
Yep.
Bela Lugosi
Yep.
Dracula,
Yep.
getting all that shit Dracula.
Yep. I just keep saying yep.
It's our first Universal monster movie.
That we have done an episode about. Unless you
Yeah.
consider Freaks. Freaks is Todd Browning, the same director, but we'll get in that next episode.
Yeah. Maybe things to think about.
Yeah.
Oh, we also want, just give a little shout out to homie that's been.
Oh, we have someone who treats us so well on Instagram.
Mhm.
That's always giving us nice shout outs, so we want to give them a nice shout out. Chelsea_K_Nichols.
Yeah.
Hey girl, hey!
What you doing, girlfriend? How
Thanks
are
for
you?
all the love. It's appreciated.
Appreciate you.
Go
So
check
kind.
out her page. She's a horror lover also.
All right. I can't fake it anymore. I'm exhausted.
I'm tired too. I hope we didn't sound too tired or dumb.
Oh my goodness. I know we've probably maybe a little delirious.
A little
like
delirious.
the characters we were just talking about. Just a little
Oh.
delirious.
Well, we love Night of the Living Dead. I hope you guys go check it out. I believe it is on
Amazon Prime.
Amazon Prime right now.
Right now, yeah. So if you
Check
got
it,
Amazon
double-deck it.
Prime, you can just watch it for free.
Yes.
Well, kind of, because you're paying for that subscription, but whatever.
That's
Please follow us on the Instagrams. Please on the Twitter.
Hey, we need your help. Let's keep it real. Go to iTunes or your favorite format and review us, rate us. But more importantly, we need more written reviews. That helps us, pushes us up in the ranks, gets us more searchable when people try to find us. The more
people
reviews,
can listen.
yeah, we
The
will,
more people that subscribe and rate us, the more people possibly that can listen.
exactly.
Just opens up a pathway, a portal. Tangina will tell you it opens up a portal to a whole new world for other people in iTunes land.
Yeah, and check out screenqueenspodcast.com. We'll be doing more blogs and stuff soon. We've been a little slack on the blogs lately, but that will be coming back full force. So check us out.
Check us out. Check me out from behind. Check me out from the front. Check me out from the back.
Oh, don't
All
get
right.
carried
Thanks,
away.
guys.
Bye.
See you later. Bye.